But the big news, of course, today is the fact that Derby lost that game and have been relegated.
Yeah, I mean, it must feel really hard for the players and for Wayne Rooney and for his staff. I know he's got Liam Rosenia. I work with Leroy, Liam's dad, and I know how hard they've been working there in order to try and claw back, that deficit that was put upon them right at the start of the season. 21 points was always going to be tough. But what's been interesting, when I've heard Wayne being interviewed recently, he spoke about 52 points. He's spoken about the amount of points that they've actually got, and never mind what they had to start with and where they were coming from the outset. So I think that, that the season they've had, considering that he will have learnt an incredible amount. The question now is that what's done is done. Where do they go from here? Where does he go from here, Wayne? Does he go into League One with a big club? Because Derby is a big club. Let's make no mistake about that. Does he go into League One with them and then hopefully bounce straight back? But he's probably got big ambitions. And I think you've got to be careful a little bit as a manager, because you can go into League One, League Two as a big name and find it very difficult to come out there. There are managers that have tried to do that. Sol did it, didn't he? Sol went into League One and League Two, and he didn't get that gig that he was looking for, maybe further up the pecking order. So I think that there are factors for Wayne to consider.
What do you think he should do?
Well, look, put it this way. He is at a very good club. He is at a big club that's been a mess for a while. But he's at a big club, and I would think that any prospective new owner, and if this guy that's coming in, if he does get this deal over the line, I'd like to think that he would genuinely see the potential in his club. I'm sure he does, and support Wayne and give him everything he needs so they can bounce back straight away, because it can be done.
But would he want to stay there? Let's say, for argument's sake, I'm just plucking this name out the air, Burnley, right? Let's say, would they not look at someone like Wayne Rooney? I mean, is Wayne Rooney not better than a League One manager from what we've seen of him over the last season, or not?
The tough part here for Wayne is he has he's only worked, let's be honest, apart from this spell as the Derby boss, he's only worked with the cream of football in this country. He's only worked with the best managers. So it's this. He would be moving into an area now which he knows very little about. Quite frankly, he will have learned a tremendous amount with Derby over this last season. But I think there's a risk involved for people like Wayne, who aspire to be a manager at the level that he's accustomed to. He's not accustomed to that level, so he's got to be careful. But look, I think he will have to, first and foremost, hope that the deal goes through and with the club, that they can get themselves straight, get themselves sorted, and then you've got to like the sound of the new owner's jib. You've got to like what you're hearing in order to be convinced by that and make you feel like you want to go through it, because it can be a slog. It really can.
How do you think the fans were feeling? Because there was a stage, maybe 6-7 weeks ago, where the question was being asked, if he keeps Derby up, will he be up for manager of the Ings?
Yeah.
So we were talking about it. Every time they had a game and they sort of maybe got a point away or a home win, you're like, oh, it's still on. So I mean, ultimately, I suppose when you deducted 21 points at the beginning of the season, I'm guessing you're resigned to the fact you're going to go down anyway, right? So how do you think the fans will be feeling today? I
think the fans will have been, like you just said, I think the fans have had that little spell where they might have thought, we might, if we can bounce a few more victories in, we might wriggle out of this. We might sneak out of it. It wasn't to be. I mean, look, they've played they've had a lot of younger players that they've played and that they've put out there and that they've given a taste of it too. There's a lot of positives to draw from this for Derby. Normally when a team gets relegated, it's all doom and gloom, and it's all, but I do genuinely feel for Derby at this moment that whilst they'll be sick that they're going down, the fans, they will also know that it was, they had mountains to climb from day one, and that it was so heavily loaded against them from the off that maybe from that they'll draw some comfort and think that actually next time round, if we get it right off the field, if someone does actually come and get hold of this club and sort it, we can bounce back straight away. There is no reason why they shouldn't be able to. They are an enormous club. They are a really good club, Derby County. I think it's a good club, but it's got to be. They're like a lot of other good clubs that have also been relegated. And if it ain't done right, you can find yourself down there for a while.